What up, guys? Welcome back to Rughead's Back Porch. Braven's gonna be working on his Colorado again today. I figured I'd get him a little bit more motivated and amped up by doing his intro for him.
Yeah, because you guys know me, I would have been like, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the video.
What's up, guys?
So we're gonna.
What's up, guys?
So in today's video, we're gonna be doing
the girls.
The girls get the girls, and the hats pull the guys. So you know what I'm saying? Ow, ow.
Give me that damn camera. Yeah, so Braven's got a little bit of work he's got to do to this thing today. To be straight up with you, he doesn't have a whole lot of time to work on this, and he's starting kind of late in the day. So, but a little bit of progress is better than no progress, right? When we left off last, we got a section of the firewall done, which is going to come out right now. The plan today is to kind of finalize this and get this welded in, at least tacked in, not completely welded in. You still got to go and get seam sealer, right?
Yeah, I still got to get seam sealer and probably a few other little things, but
yeah, of course. So yeah, we're gonna kind of take this apart, get this a little bit more finalized to where it is in its exact location before we can move on with that. Yeah, other than that, he's got a little bit of cutting that he wants to do on the firewall and stuff. Not a whole lot, man. Basically, we're just trying to get to a point to where the cab is done. We'll get moving in that direction, you know. Once the cab is done, then damn, you still have to assemble your engine.
Yeah, no, the engine assembly part is still probably like the farthest point. I still have to do the coolant system next, and then brake system, which is full brakes on the whole truck and the lines and pedal, all that kind of stuff. And then
and we still have to paint the frame.
Yeah, and then fuel system. But I want to.
Oh my God, yeah, we're a ways away from this guy assembling the engine and putting it in here. Okay, so step one, we gotta get all this stuff taken apart, and by we, I mean that guy.
You put in the video what all the X's before. I gotta take all these brackets and everything off.
Yeah, I didn't want to just cut shit, not knowing what it is you're gonna take off or not. Yeah, over the weekend, a guy came out and cut the windows out for Braven. So now the front windshield is out of the way, rear window is out of the way. Why exactly did you need the rear window out of the way?
I took the rear window out so that it's easier for the guy to do the cage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess makes sense. Alrighty.
For everyone that thinks I'm not gonna put a cage and then I'm not following the rule book while I'm already here, then I'm skipping steps. Because people just don't think I know what I'm doing, but it's okay.
It kind of stays without clamps.
Pretty solid, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, with the firewall out of the way, I'll be able to show you guys a good angle here. As you see those sections over here in these corners, they don't quite line up with the actual template that I made. Well, the actual wall I made. This side lines up pretty good, but that side doesn't. So what I'm gonna have to do is whenever I pull this off, I want to hammer and pull this piece of material to match this, because I like the angle that is sitting. I don't want to push it in and then it have like that weird bend to it. I want it to be basically look how it's looking, right? Alright, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and mark a line going across everywhere that actually connects to the floor, so I kind of have like an idea of where I need to actually remove the coating that's on that tunnel, as well as just kind of give me like a good base idea where everything's gonna sit, because I got to put some weld through primer and everything. Alright, we got some weld through primer here. Just gonna go ahead and do a light coat over everything. Just make sure nothing goes ahead and has no primer on it. All right, so I went through, coated some weld through primer after buzzing it all down, and went ahead and screwed the thing back in again, sitting where it needs to sit. Same as the backside. I don't know if I told you guys in the last video or not, but the backside's sticking out so that I can go through and tack it, give it a good weld, and then seam seal it, and then cut off the excess. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna mark every inch on it, basically with a measuring tape or a ruler or whatever. Mark every inch so then I could go through and just stitch weld it. Because I'm gonna go back with seam seal, but just stitch welding it isn't gonna put too much heat in the material to where I'm gonna have to deal with blowing through it or anything like that. Like I said, I'm not really a fabricator by any means, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and try my best. Like I said, I'm just gonna stitch weld it, and I want it to have a little bit of a rhythm to it, right? Something that actually looks consistent. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark this and then start welding on it. Alright guys, so I got one side all tacked up, and then the cross member part going across the top here. So I went through every inch and then gave it a good tack all the way around. I don't think it looks 100% beautiful, but it's going to work. I went through with the wire wheel and then cleaned it up a little bit to get rid of all the black, all the smoke, the smokiness. I think it's because of the weld through primer. I'll tell you what, I spent 50 bucks on this weld through primer, and it was the worst purchase I have made in a very long time on this truck. I'll tell you what, this thing would have been 1,000 times better with some cheap weld through primer, not the weld through primer that I bought. But now I just gotta go through and do this side and then finish up the side on this one here. So if you see the gap is large here, that's how it was on this side too. But I was able to finesse it by getting it warm and then going through and actually hitting it with the hammer all the way around to suck in the material to each other. Now keep in mind, all this is going to get a good layer of seam seal, and then also on the bottom I'm going to go ahead and tack on the bottom, and then add some reinforcement rods. These rods that I bought here, I'm going to run some reinforcement going across it to kind of brace everything, but overall the seam seal is going to end up cleaning it up, and plus I'm going to paint over everything. Honestly, as long as it is strong, I don't care if it's pretty or not, because it's going to end up working out in the end. So let me move on to this side. I got to do a little bit of prepping and moving all of my stuff over to this side, get everything marked up, and then I'll go ahead and start welding. All right, so the main tunnel, the main rear section of the tunnel is complete for the most part. For now, I just went through and just did a tack weld every inch on the inside here. And then now on this one here, I just tacked in these two plates. I just got to go through, buzz these down clean, and then get this whole area weld through primered, and then clean up that other tunnel section and weld through primered as well, and get it all mocked up and ready to get welded in. All right, so now I got the front all bolted in and kind of got rid of most of the gaps. I ended up having to put some screws through it just to kind of suck everything in. I will go through and plug weld those, but as you can tell, basically everything is prepped and ready to be welded. This side has a little bit more of a gap. I'm gonna probably end up just screwing that in there, screwing it, and then going through and plug welding all the screws. But I'm just trying to get rid of all the gaps. Now I got to go through and actually mark and give it a spot weld 1 inch all the way around. So let me go through, mark these, and start welding. All right, guys, so I just finished up going ahead and tacking the entire tunnel inside of the truck. So as you can tell, I feel like I'm pretty happy with the way that it came out. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but it is on there. It is pretty sturdy. Once the firewall gets in there, then it'll have some more rigidity than it already does. But I'm overall super happy with this so far. I am going to go through and seam seal, even over across the top and all the way around, and even on the bottom. As you can tell, the bottom it has some additional material, same as the back here. So mainly the back piece, this thing has a whole lot of extra material sticking down in comparison to where the welds are. I'm gonna go through and cut all that extra material out. Whenever I go down there, I'm gonna add extra strength, like the rebar and all, the little bar that I bought, the steel rods, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so I'm gonna go through there and actually, my hair's all messed up. I'm gonna go through there and actually stiffen up the bottom a lot more, throw some seam sealer on the bottom too, and then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna rhino line the bottom, like paint the bottom like the rhino line, or whatever it's called, the bed liner on the bottom of the cab itself. But yeah, I'm super stoked on the way this thing came out. Super sick. Like the areas like this where they do overlap, that's gonna most likely just be filled up with seam sealer. I'm gonna run some tape and do all that kind of stuff. I probably won't run any seam sealer until after the firewall is complete, just so that I know for sure that I don't need to grind anything out and redo something. But yeah, I'm super stoked the way they came out, and I got a little bit more little details and stuff like that to go ahead and wrap this this tunnel up. But nothing really too crazy. I did the majority of the hard work already, so I'm pretty stoked on that. Throughout the week, I'm going to go ahead and get the firewall all complete. As you guys seen in the last video, my dad did go ahead and create this piece for create part of the firewall. Me and him decided that we're going to go ahead and do it again, but this time around we're gonna go ahead and separate it into multiple pieces instead of just one, so that it has a little bit more flow to it, and you don't get into these like creases where the creases are in the corners. I don't know, I didn't mind it. I think personally it looked really good, but my dad wants to do it again, so I did buy enough material over there. That's a whole sheet. I did buy enough material to most likely get all the firewall done, and also be able to use a little section of it to block off the top of where the radiator is going, which was part of the plan originally. Well, I won't bore you guys to death on talking and telling you all what we're gonna do. Today was a short video, so I hope you guys did enjoy. I'm gonna go ahead and continue working on it. I got to finish up the firewall like I said, and there's a lot of little other details, man. I mean, I'm just keep repeating myself at this point, but you know what? Huge shout out to you guys for watching today's video. If you guys have any comments or questions or concerns or anything like that in the comments down below, go ahead and let me know. I'm gonna say peace out, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.